When I brought her over, I wouldn't hold her hand, I wouldn't be touchy. Like, they might know, but it's still better not to PDA.
How did you guys meet?
Board Game Society.
4 years back from my first day of work. Actually, love at first sight, yeah.
We met on a little yellow app that you and I might know. Yeah, that app is called Grindr. We've been together 4 years. And how many months?
1.
So then how did you all end up together?
She chased me for a year.
I was teaching a game to a different table, and then I turned, and I saw her, and I just completely froze.
Because in her words, she said I was radiating awkward. I stepped into the room, I was just like looking around, like I didn't know where to go, and I was just standing there. Like, I guess I was so awkward that she couldn't talk to me. So maybe she found that intriguing.
He has invited me for few weeks, and because I got something to do.
Then I thought like she lying to me, like just that she don't want to go out with me.
But before that, I really got things to do.
I think we got interested in each other pretty quickly.
What do you tell? Sorry.
No, you can tell it.
Okay, I'll say it. He was very driven, very ambitious, can hold a good conversation, which is very rare to find nowadays. So that combination, I think worked quite well. What about you?
Same.
Wow!
Because at first, like, she didn't give me a yes or no answer. So then I just like, how about like we try for a month?
Actually, I'm not so sure, but the feel is come slowly. I think it start when we go for the ice skating.
Then after a month, then she never said anything. Then I just like proceed on.
Were you guys open about your relationship?
She wanted to keep it a secret at first. I mean, I respected her decision because it is quite difficult for someone who comes from a traditional family and to actually accept someone like me.
I have a foster family that I grew up with, and I haven't completely came out to them yet because I know that they're not supportive. With a few of my family being openly gay, they would come and tell me things like, oh, you better not be like your sister. Oh, you have to give your mum kids because you know your sister's not gonna give.
I think for me, I was out like from a very young age, so it seemed to me like a no-brainer.
For me, I think it was a bit more gradual because I wasn't necessarily out to other people. I also didn't know how some people might respond to the fact that I have a boyfriend. So after a while, I think I just came around to like, you know what, if you don't accept me for who I am, like, you're probably not my friend.
I actually really appreciate that because I know for him it took a bit of a leap of faith to make that public.
一开始的时候，你们会为了这件事会吵架吗？
有，他会不高兴。
I'm not a person who like to hide my relationship.
所以过后你们是怎么熬过来的？
怎样熬？就一直吵着吵着就熬过来了。
The first time I came out to my mum, I was crying in my sister's room. I didn't even know why I was crying. I guess it was mostly because I didn't know how my mum would take it. And then suddenly my mum opened the door. And then she asked, 为什么你在哭? Like, why are you crying? I couldn't tell her because I was crying so hard. And then my sister just went, oh, she likes girls. And then my mum, what's there to cry about? Then she closed the door. And then after that, she went to tell her family. And then my grandmother's reaction, she went, that's great. The love between two girls is so much deeper than the love between a girl and a guy.
For me, it was a little bit different. I think my grandma, she's not very accepting as well. When I brought her over, I wouldn't hold her hand, I wouldn't be touchy. Just like try to respect the elderly. Like, they might know, but it's still better not to PDA.
At first, my mom is unacceptable of this kind of behavior. We have been quarreling quite a long time. Actually, before that, she even bring me for some like psychology counseling to like expect me to turn straight. My dad is quite chill because he think that me being happy is the most important.
I think a lot of queer people go through this experience where your birth family may not be the family that truly accepts you for who you are. So naturally, it's a bit tough to like have proper conversations with them on stuff like this. As
time goes by, my dad showed my mom is more about the stuff on LGBT also. So she began to much more like accepting is that this is actually a born thing rather than a choice. If I have a choice, like I wouldn't want to be such way as well because it's like there are too much struggle to deal with from the public's view and from the parents' point of view as well.
I think when they see that you are happy and being in a happy relationship, it really does give me courage to want to show off, not show off per se, but more of like to show people that we can be happy together. And I don't want to hide this part of my life. And I think the people who care for me and love me will be able to see that. So that really is what kind of dissipates the fear for me.
my friends are now his friends. Like, so they, like, we all kind of vibe around the same. I remember the first time I introduced YJ was to one of my closest friends, and you know, afterwards she was like, "Hey, he's very good for you, leh. This one very good. This one must keep." She's a Capricorn, and he's a Capricorn, and she's always like, "He's the Capricorn I wish I was," you know.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Have you all met each other's parents?
When I brought her to my place for dinner, my family, they definitely knew that like, I was interested in her.
Also because that New Year's, like Chinese New Year, I went over to Pioneer with her before we even got together. So I think the family already kind of had an inclination, like you wouldn't bring a random friend to Pioneer.
It's the first time that I ever brought anybody home to my family for Chinese New Year.
It's an honor.
She bring me back to her hometown, but as a friend
我的姐姐有知道我们的关系，就 parents 还不知道。I think it's about 1 year later， 因为她有打荷尔蒙针，然后就慢慢长得比较男性一点。Then I just start to talk to my friend， 如果想要走 long lasting 就一定要 open。
I think we were quite open when we first like got together.
I've met his parents. My parents are in Malaysia, so things are a bit hard to coordinate lah.
My mom likes him because she always tells me he's the smarter one, so keep him around. I did remember like when you sat down, she asked you quite a lot of questions. Like where you're working at, your background and everything. And I was like, sounds like a job interview.
Do you all plan to get married?
How about you take this question? I think it's very
I'm a hopeless romantic. So I guess that is definitely somewhere in my cards. Hopefully in Singapore, if not definitely overseas.
这个是会一定会想要组织一个家庭，然后来会是合法的。如果说他有什么事情啊，我就也能够合法的去照顾他那种。呀，如果没有婚姻的话，就不是没有那个名分啊。
I mean, like, I did consider some of this factor as well, because in Singapore, I know that if you have gone through the full surgery of being a female to males, then there's a way to legalize you as a male. From that point of time, like, maybe marriage is a thing for me.
We haven't talked about it. I know a lot of people like aspire for marriage and a lot of people fight for marriage equality, but for me, I don't think marriage necessarily defines a relationship. Like for me, it's about commitment, it's about trust, it's about loyalty, you know, it's about being there for each other.
She always makes the joke that she's gonna propose to me. She takes it as I'm gonna propose to you first. But for me, it's like, no, you propose to me, I'm gonna say no because I wanna do it.
No, I'm gonna do it first, for sure.
Got thought of raising a cat together.
最 common 的就是猫跟狗咯，因为他本身比较喜欢猫，我也是会喜欢猫，所以 OK。
I want kids though. So
I want a Rottweiler. We see how we do with the dog first.
yeah.
We discussed about moving to the States at some point. I'm not sure about him, I mean, it's something that I still want to do. So yeah, like, that'll be fun.
My one is just a small one.
What's yours?
I kind of just want to do a ski trip together.
Oh yes! Yes. You have to teach me though, because I can't. I'm probably gonna fall on like the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With money and a coach, anything is possible.
With money. Okay.